everybody in the world blind. Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the pitch, I look around and feel like everybody is the...
It's up to 217 kilometres an hour, 130.
Surely it'll be the final corner where there isn't really a lip. It'll be the short squirt of a back straight. It'll be about, what, all the way pin.
And Agostinelli has got a long lap penalty.
Standings, he's just over 20 points off the series.
On the brakes, the back end of the KTM hopping around there. As
back in Mugello, really such another star, much Slavian rider, Kyrgyzstani rider, sorry.
Sam Mello on the 27.
What about Valentin Peroni though, the 70?
Veda in third place.
But they were half a second slow.
And he's got the 83 of Alvaro Carpe, the pole man on his. So now if Gonzalez has got, with the fellow Spanish...
Stonking race here as they come across the line the first time of asking. Not really up the inside of Daniel again, just slots it there, goes a little bit wide, on send it through Reshkenhook, up to the GT chicane. Side there in towards the penultimate turn. And there we have the win.
Riarte, this is how you do it in Rookies Cup. It's David Gonzalez there on the number 11 into second place. Started off with victory in the first race. There is yesterday's winner, 51. Can feel what's happening and usually doesn't give them any nasty.
Wide there and succumbing to the place of Alvaro Carpe.
These Pirellis are really superb tyres. They do drop off the performance.
Tell me he's been working on that with his mentor Aki Ayo as we spot at the moment. That'll move him down, likely to last.
And already looking for a lead.
Rico Salmello was ultra aggressive yesterday. The fastest sweeping section is Guillaume Plomb, first rider.
Fourth place, just ahead of Moodley, but it's Salmello who takes the lead.
Steep downhill into turn 4 there. You can see the rear wheel of Uriarte's. Grass as well joins back in the pack. He's alongside Joel Pons, who's still looking for it.
Into the slipstream very effectively. So it's Brian Uriarte who takes up the lead.
Saw the mistake that Morelli made yesterday. Got to keep it easy. Feather the throttle there. Number 7 of Benyat Fernandez.
And of course that group of Mello there, he surely is going to be a bit more circumspect on this first.
It's the first intermediate split there, so I think that's it. The leading impressive start to the race from Dodo Boggio said keep an eye on him. He's only lost one place on it. They are going to catch them, I think, Peter. It was
two fast sections. That was the quickest. And Brian was so late yesterday and won the race, but this time 5 miles an hour in sixth before you flick it left here. Back
first turn as well. That'll be where these riders are getting caught. Through turn 6, Peter?
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely. This is the fastest part of the...
Yeah, that'll be a track limits thing as well. And it'll probably be Peter. The riders all running very, very wide there on the exit to Strubben. Now onto this...
Brian turns it into the first right-hander.
It's like Brian Uriarte. And Peroni sits 4th in the championship.
Yeah, look at this stuff. Side by side. And hard
3 yesterday, another podium finish for him. He won the second race of the last time around. Van Karpushin, Peter, the Yugo's
tail. There's Brian Uriarte right there behind Rico. And if the two Spanish can make a break for it, they've got the slightest advantage.
95, no plan B, leads the way, does Lightning McQueen.
Yeah.
To the green then, so he might himself have a track limits warning.
Gonzalez, a wonder.
Such a famous ribbon of asphalt we've had, and this will be, I hate the Steven. Riders trying to avoid the other riders catching too much of a slipstream. Here we go then. Wow, Morelli takes the lead then from Carpe as they think Asura and Christian Daniel pushing Marco Morelli rather wide.
Brian Uriarte there, 4th or 5th place. You're on board now with surprises. It's Brian Uriarte that leads, but up the inside now. And Morelli really has a season that's gone up and down, up and down. He does fade away slightly, but it's very, very predictable. So the guys...
See Morelli goes through, nursed Rico out the way, he looks to go a bit
right. And as you were talking about, you know, using up your tyres too much,
hey, by far the most aggressive we've seen him riding in his Rookies Cup career. He did to have a long lap penalty for exceeding track limits. He's at
25, no plan B. Marco Morelli is into second place,
popping off the ground momentarily as they now come into his first point here in Rookies Cup.
And Brian Uriarte, yesterday's runner down in
last time around, 2.5 Asura and Christian Daniel pushing Marco Morelli rather wide there.
And wow, what a battle for third place. That is superb. It's Brian Uriarte that leads, but up the inside now it's But Veda is super good through that last left-hander and fade away slightly, but it's very, very predictable. So the guys can think they did pick up the slipstream, did they? Because Veda couldn't make any inroads at all. Right, and as you were talking about, you know, using up your tyres too much. And there's the 51 chasing the 13. That's Brian Iriarte.
Have a long lap penalty for exceeding track limits. He's in 20th spot at them.
Because you pretty much deny the slipstream. I don't think that Veda's going to pick up
off the ground momentarily. As they now come into the far
11 of David Gonzalez has opened up a fractional advantage to Patama.
So heavy on the brakes and it's really steep. Want to get sucked in there in towards turns.
There's a big hole in the air and that drags the other guys into the...
The wider you go on the curves, the more slippery as it gets. You can have been caught officially. Fastest rider on track is that rider there.
Up into 5th through this screaming left-hander.
0.6 of a second as they come across the first
down through the corkscrew. The advantage that he has is long.
And look at the gap then with the chasers. They are on it. They
what you called the plateau there, Matt. The number 11 still KTM off the green stuff there as he chases Morelli away from the first.
Turn 5. He's now at the back of this leading group behind Christian from Morelli.
Yeah, he had 2 wins last year and we want gearbox and in fact down to first for the very tight
and a 4th place finish. He got his first podium in Le Mans race 2.
The kilometres an hour, 106 miles an hour through 4th
again. He's been a little bit quiet this year, hasn't he? Not what we expect, but you saw Brian Iriarte got really swamped as he came across the line there that time.
3 abreast again on the brakes and it's Morelli.
No, on the start and finish straight, isn't it?
It is.
A tailwind down the back straight.
in 3rd place.
But they were half a second slower last time.
Still 9 laps to go. Gonzalez has got with the fellow Spanish one if the two
can make on him down the back straight. We see car pushing and the inside of Daniel again just slots it there, goes a little bit wide onto the half-tenths ahead of everybody else, and it's roughly that same gap now. I mean, they're in towards the penultimate turn and there we have the weave-in.
Isn't it? Veda still has it. Just listen at the time of David Gonzalez there on the number 11 into 2nd place. Out onto the start and finish straight, so he's closed up a couple of bike lengths, feel what's happening, and usually doesn't give them any nasty surprise into David Gonzalez, but behind him everybody closed up with the slips. Pirellis are really superb tyres. They do drop off, the performance does. Chasing Hakim Danish. No, I don't know.
That'll move him down, likely to last.
Not much of a slipstream from way back there.
It's a sweeping section as Guillaume Plomb, first rider to have
over Veda Patama again, and of course it's a crucial part of the track to get an advantage.
Downhill into turn 4 there, you can see the rear wheel of Iriarte's just popping 12 and 13.
And the number of slipstream very effectively. So it's Brian Iriarte who takes up the lead. From
see the tail of